he should get a junker or something he would enjoy driving to work. He found a 1961 Porsche 356B with 58,000 miles on it for $2,600 and had it checked out and approved by a friend who raced Porsches. The day he brought it home, he took Jeff, 8, and Mike, 6, for a test drive out on Sunset Highway and opened it up to 105 miles per hour. When two wide-eyed boys got back home, Mike said, "Dad, when you die, I get this car." He was 6 years old. I was accustomed to an automatic transmission. The clutch is small and my feet are big, so I rejected learning to drive the car. A few years later, Carl got the flu while we were driving to San Francisco for spring break. He complained bitterly that I could not share the driving. As we started home, he pulled into a restaurant parking lot in Vallejo, put me behind the wheel, and had me practice. I drove an hour or so up the highway, but didn't need to shift. I had no more lessons when we got home. In June, Carl had a work day at school after the kids were out for the year. His car had always been safe at school, but muttering something about the kids messing with the Porsche, he took the station wagon. I wanted to go to morning Bible study at the Cedar Mill Bible Church parsonage. It was only about a mile, so with fear and trembling, I drove the Porsche. I didn't get above second gear the whole way. That night, when I told Carl what I had done, he turned white. I haven't driven it since. In 1992, the car needed clutch repair. When the garage got it on the rack, it was discovered that the throwout bearing was not working, and the bracket that held the bearing was worn down to a nub. The supplier sent the wrong bearing, and the bracket was unavailable from the factory. When Carl told his sad story to Duncan Bergeron, Duncan said to bring him the parts. Duncan soaked the bearing in gasoline, blew it out with air, and said it was working fine. He then took the bracket to an old blacksmith in Sheridan and had him weld on a lump of brass. Duncan hand-filed the protrusion on the bracket to a perfect circle. The mechanics in the garage were astounded, and the clutch worked perfectly. The speedometer goes to 99,999, then turns over to 0 again. We lost track, but think the car has gone more than 300,000 miles. It has suffered a few minor accidents. I dropped an outboard motor on it once, and Carl backed into another car in our own driveway. It has been repainted several times and completely restored in 2008. It is understood that Mike will get it eventually, but he has already been waiting more than 45 years.
Very good.
What year was it? I
It's
didn't catch.
61. We bought it in 66.
Wow. Where does the car live?
It lives in Portland, and when we're down here, it spends the winter in the garage.
Right.
Because I don't drive it, and so we don't bring it down here.
Yeah.
So obviously, you can have real-life pictures of that car to go with your story. Oh, is that going around? Oh.
That's one that was taken in 1989.
What color is it?
Already.
What color is it now?
Silver. It's all
Silver? Oh.
And I had my next door neighbor